I've been Benny's friend and mentor since we were in grade 6 together. Since we met, I've seen his transformation from an awkward youth to a slightly less awkward adult. And it's my great pleasure to speak on this occasion. But I know what you're here for, and yes, in short, I've got all the dirt. Unfortunately, however, Ben insisted on reading my speech beforehand and has made some notes about things I'm not allowed to mention. Let's see here. He's written that I can't mention the hole in the window of his old bedroom, the time he beat up my 10-year-old younger brother, and the time he answered the door in his underwear to a Domino's pizza delivery. So I won't mention those things. But anyway, before I continue, a little bit of housekeeping. I think we need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I know what you're all thinking, and yes, it was a short engagement period. And yes, there is a very good reason for that. In fact, it's not hard to see why the happy couple has been working with a very tight timeline. But unfortunately, Ben's rapidly retreating hairline is not going to work. Clear to all, Steph has undoubtedly made a very positive impact on the direction of Ben's life. I think you'll all be interested to understand exactly what we were dealing with before Steph came along. So let's take a walk down memory lane, with walk being the operative word. Now, a lot of you probably don't know this, and for some reason, which I can only assume is modesty, he doesn't talk about it much. Back in the day, Ben was a pretty high-level athlete. Now it's hard to believe, given his obvious physical limitations. That's true. I'll come clean. The truth is that in the trophy room at Queensland Race Walking Club headquarters, wherever that is, there is a plaque that reads Ben Hawthorne, Queensland Race Power Walking Champion, 1999. For those who didn't know, Ben was and is an exceptionally fast power walker. Whilst he hung up the wristbands a long time ago and away from the glamorous circuit of Australian domestic race power walking, evidence of this illustrious career can still be sometimes seen in his day-to-day life. For instance, if you've ever been with Ben at the pub when it's his turn to shout, speed at which he'll disappear is breathtaking. Speed at which he'll walk out of the Gabba ahead of full time if the Lions are losing. It's also pretty impressive. Something he's had a lot of practice at. Most of all though, the speed with which he'll walk to the bar tonight to cut off the tab once it passes is still amazing. In all seriousness though, Ben, congrats on the whole power walking thing. I've personally always been very impressed with your dedication, courage, and ability to not care about what everyone thinks. If you find some time tonight, I encourage you all to go up to Ben and tell him exactly how impressed you are. I know deep down he'll be pretty chuffed. I think another topic that is quite informative of the pre-Steph Ben is his first few years as a bachelor at Bribie. Now, it's probably fair to say that he wasn't exactly living the glamorous life during those years. Me, being the excellent, caring friend that I am, would visit regularly to keep him company and help lift his spirits, and was often greeted at the door in daylight hours by him wearing no shirt and what appeared to be pink female pyjamas. And that was on the good days. Quite often I'd arrive and he'd be asleep on the couch. That wasn't bad enough. He owned one fork, one knife, one spoon, one plate and one bowl in the whole apartment, which he'd wash up in between each meal. I remember having to buy him a bottle opener so he could actually have a beer at his house. As an aside, one of the only other items he had in the house was a set of weights, which he genuinely stole from my house. But I'm over that. As I said, very safe to say, the situation before Steph came along was pretty dire. And I remember being very concerned about him. But as they say, it is always darkest before the dawn. And what a light Steph shone into his dank little cave. Which now has 4 bedrooms, scented candles, pot plants galore. Finally, more cutlery than friends. I first heard about Steph one day when Ben called me to say that an attractive teacher had just started working at his school and they were hitting it off. Aided, as I understand it, by several of their fellow teachers. Clearly Steph had some enemies that she didn't know about. He asked me for my advice, and upon confirming she was in fact a real person with a pulse, I encouraged him to follow his heart, be true to himself, and most importantly to not screw this one up. Fast forward several years and the changes are staggering. No more pink lady pyjamas. He's now travelled outside Brisbane, even overseas. Most of all, he loves to entertain and can now do an absolute ripper sausage sizzle, as his family and friends would attest to. Mind you, being away from Steph over the Bucks weekend, we did notice a slight regression. He refused to wear a nice shirt that we made for him. Spent half of the weekend in his bed sleeping. Got so drunk one night that he punched a hole in the wooden frame of one of the bunk beds. But I'm positive this was just a temporary step back set. But now I've got all that out of my system, time for some serious words. Whilst I know I've taken the piss out of him quite a bit tonight, it's testament to the man that Ben is that he can laugh just as hard at himself as he would at anyone else. As I said earlier, we've been close mates since we were boys, and I consider him to be as a brother to me. Ben exemplifies qualities that many people aspire to: loyalty, integrity, hard work, and a great sense of humour. Steph, if he is half as good a husband as he has been a mate, then you've done very well. In all honesty, Ben and Steph, I want to thank you for asking me to be part of this special day. I genuinely hope and know that you'll be happy together. Steph, please look after him, because we know he struggles to look after himself. If I could ask you all to raise your glass. Again, to Ben and Steph.
I too was a passenger, seeing the transformation of Ben's apartment at Monterey, who he still fondly talks about, the man cave. You've got new floors, new kitchen, still got the couch. I'm proud of you, buddy. Okay, now, we've heard some beautiful words of wisdom from both family and best friends of Steph and Ben, but we haven't heard from the most important people of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Ben to the mic to share a few words, as let's be honest, Steph would just start crying the moment she started to give a speech. So we give it over to Ben.